Welcome to our channel Bioholic. It's another Friday, so here is your educator Olivia with a new interesting lesson. Today I will discuss everything that you need to know about hormones. Last Friday we have learned that hormones are secreted from where? Yes, from endocrine glands, and it acts as the working unit of our chemical coordination. If you have not watched the last class's video, that is Introduction of Endocrinology, the link is given in the description box. You can visit and check that video too. So, let's start today's lesson. Hormone. The name hormone is derived from a Greek word hormao, that means I excite. So from its name it's clear that hormone has stimulatory functions. Though later it is found that some hormones have some inhibitory actions too. Now a question arises. Who coined the term hormone for the first time? The answer is Sir William Madox Bayliss and Ernest Henry Stirling. So Bayliss and Stirling first introduced the word hormone, okay? There is a story behind the discovery of hormones. In 1902, Bayliss and Stirling showed that dilute hydrochloric acid in our GI tract, when is mixed with partially digested food, then the chemical substance gets activated in our duodenal epithelial cells and it is released directly into the bloodstream. Later, it comes in contact to pancreas where it stimulates the secretion of digestive juice into the intestine through the pancreatic duct. They call that substance as secretin, and after 3 years they introduced the hormone concept and named all those similar types of chemical substances as hormone. So what is the first invented hormone? Secretin. And in which year the hormone concept was introduced? In 1905 by Bayliss and Stirling. So what is a hormone? Hormone refers to a chemical substance produced in our body that controls and regulates physiological activities. It is a non-nutrient substance that is secreted in trace amount, which means secreted in very little amount directly into the bloodstream and acts to a target site generally far away from their site of production. But we all know that plants also secrete hormones. Then do they also have endocrine glands? A big no. Plants produce their hormone without an endocrine gland. Plant hormones are released from their stem, root tips or buds. Now let's have a look in the classification of hormones. Hormones can be classified depending upon their mechanism of action. According to their mechanism of action, they are of two types, the lipid-soluble and the lipid-insoluble hormones. We know that our cell membrane is made up of phospholipids, so the lipid-soluble hormones can easily penetrate the cell membrane. That's why they don't need any cell surface receptors and enters the cell and binds to a receptor present in the cytosol or nucleus. We will discuss about the types of receptors and about their mechanism of actions next Friday. Now coming to the group 2, that is lipid-insoluble hormones. These hormones are lipophobic, therefore they cannot pass the cell membrane. They need some cell surface receptors for their binding. Due to this binding, some second messengers get activated and thus cellular changes occur. You might be unaware of these terms like second messenger, cell surface receptors, but don't worry, in the next class I will clear all your confusions. Now you just try to remember that hormones can be classified into two types based on their mechanism of actions, the lipid-soluble and lipid-insoluble. The examples of lipid-soluble hormones are steroid and thyroid hormones, and lipid-insoluble hormones are the insulin, follicular-stimulating hormone and catecholamines. Nextly, hormones can also be classified depending upon their site of action. Those are the general hormones that execute their action far away from their site of production. for example insulin, thyroid hormones, and the local hormones that have local effects by their paracrine secretion. That means they bind to their neighboring cells, for example histamine, serotonin, etc. Now, depending upon their stimulatory action to other endocrine glands, hormones can be classified into two types. Firstly, the tropic hormones, those are that stimulate other endocrine glands for their secretion, for example adrenocorticotropic hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, etc. And the non-tropic hormone, they don't stimulate other endocrine glands, for example thyroid hormones. Now, depending upon their chemical nature, the hormones can be classified mainly in 6 types. Firstly, the steroid hormones. These hormones are derivatives of cholesterol and they are bioactive lipids. They are synthesized from mainly adrenal glands and our gonads. For example, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Next is the amine hormones that are derived from amino acid tyrosine. For example, the catecholamines like adrenaline, noradrenaline, and the thyroid hormones. The next is the peptide hormones. These hormones are made up of peptides. For example, ADH, oxytocin. Next is the protein hormones that are made up of proteins. For example, insulin, growth hormone. Next, the glycoprotein hormones that are made up of glycoproteins, the follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, and the human chorionic gonadotropin of placental origin is also a glycoprotein hormone. And lastly, the eicosanoid. That means they are derived from polyunsaturated fatty acids. Example is prostaglandin. Hormones can also be classified in 3 types depending upon their effects. The kinetic hormones have kinetic effects like muscle contraction, for example melanocyte stimulating hormone, epinephrine. Then the metabolic hormones that have roles in metabolism, for example insulin, parathyroid hormones, etc. And lastly, the morphogenetic hormone that promotes growth and cell differentiation. Now, what are the characteristics of hormones? Hormones are secreted in trace amount, generally in microgram. 1 microgram means 1 by 1000 milligram. Hormones act as a chemical coordinator and after use it is destroyed by the liver. They are mainly secreted from our 10 endocrine glands, though there are other structures of our body that do secrete hormones too. For example, skin, heart, kidney, our GI organs, placenta, and our adipose tissues. Hormones have both stimulatory and inhibitory actions. For example, glucagon increases blood glucose level, whereas the insulin reduces blood glucose level. Hence, hormone is called as dual controller. Hormone secretion is regulated by both positive feedback control and negative feedback control. The positive feedback control occurs when a hormone feeds back to increase its own production. In this flowchart, we can see that a hormone after release is stimulating its target tissue to secrete another hormone. Now the second hormone is sending impulses to secrete more and more the previous hormone. During labor, uterine contraction causes oxytocin hormone to release. This oxytocin increases the rate of contraction. This contraction in turn send impulses to secrete more and more oxytocin. This is an example of our positive feedback control. Another example is the secretion of prolactin for milk ejaculation upon suckling reflex. Now the negative feedback control that inhibits the hormone secretion. The TSH generally stimulates the thyroid glands for the production of T3, T4 like thyroid hormones, but when the T3, T4 level rises, then it sends negative impulses to inhibit the TSH production. thus the stimulatory action on thyroid gland is removed, hence no more T3 or T4 can be produced. Another example is when our body's blood glucose level is high, insulin is released and it controls the blood glucose level through this mechanism. In this picture, we can understand the different locations of our main endocrine glands. The pineal gland, pituitary gland, then the hypothalamus, parathyroid, thyroid, thymus gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, ovaries in females and testes in males. Here is the list of the endocrine glands with their location, secreted hormones and their target tissues. First, the hypothalamus that is present in our brain below the thalamus and above the pituitary gland. From hypothalamus, some releasing factors are secreted like CRH, GnRH, TRH, and there are some inhibitory factors are also secreted like GHIH, PIH, MSHIH that inhibits the production of hormones. The releasing and inhibiting factors target pituitary gland for their action. Pituitary gland is located within the sella turcica, that is a bony structure of the sphenoid bone. From anterior pituitary, ACTH, FSH, LH, TSH are formed that have tropic actions, whereas growth hormone promotes growth. From the posterior pituitary, ADH and oxytocin is released. The ADH acts on kidney tubules and smooth muscles of arterioles, and the oxytocin targets uterine smooth muscles and the mammary gland. The pineal gland is situated on the back portion of the third cerebral ventricle of the brain. It secretes melatonin that controls our circadian rhythms. Now the thymus gland. It regresses in adulthood. It is present just between the lungs. It secretes thymopoietin and thymosin that triggers immune response. Next is the thyroid gland. It is located anterior to the trachea, just inferior to the larynx. It secretes thyroxine triiodothyronine that affects most of the tissues, and the calcitonin of the thyroid gland targets the bones. The parathyroid gland is present just behind the thyroid gland. It secretes the parathyroid hormones that targets the bone, kidneys and intestine. The pancreas is situated in the upper left abdomen that secretes insulin, glucagon, somatostatin for maintenance of blood glucose level. It is the adrenal gland that is situated just above the kidneys. From the adrenal cortex, cortisol, corticosterone, aldosterone is released that affect most of the tissues, and the aldosterone mainly targets the kidneys. From adrenal medulla, catecholamines are secreted. These hormones responses to stress. And from ovaries that is situated in the lower abdomen of females in the pelvic region, estrogen and progesterone is secreted that have roles in female reproductive organs. And lastly, the testes that is present outside of the male body within the sex scrotum secretes testosterone that targets male reproductive organs. Now I am gonna introduce you some other hormones that have other origins. Like from kidney, renin is secreted that is later converted into angiotensin. From placental origin, relaxin, HCG that is human chorionic gonadotropin, estrogen, progesterone and placental lactogen is secreted. From uterus, prostaglandin hormone is secreted. Our heart also secretes hormones. The most important hormones from our heart is the atrial natriuretic peptide that plays role in blood pressure regulation. Let's learn about neurohormones. Which hormones are called as neurohormones? A neurohormone is any hormone that is produced and released by neuroendocrine cells, that is the neurosecretory cells of our brain, into the blood. Two well-known examples of neurohormones are the oxytocin and the ADH. The hypothalamic releasing hormones are also called as the neurohormones. You may have heard about the word pheromones. What are they? Pheromone is a chemical factor that triggers a social response in members of the same species. Pheromones are chemicals capable of acting like hormones but outside of the body of the secreting individual to impact the behavior of the receiving individuals. For example, alarm pheromones, trail pheromones, sexual arousal pheromones, etc. But is a pheromone and hormone same? No. Because pheromones act outside of the body after secretion and affects other animals of same species, and unlike hormones, it has very few functions. I hope now you have a better idea about hormones. If you have any doubts, you can comment below, and you can also contact us through our mail. The mail address is provided in the description box. Questions related to today's topic and the answers of the previous video is provided in a link in description box. You can download that for your better practice. So thanks for watching. Next Friday, we will learn about the mechanism of actions of hormones. Till then, stay tuned.